Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable words. Now let's welcome our first candidate, Bhargavi, to present her work.
Very good evening, everyone. Myself, Bhargavi Prasanna from Andhra University. I'm very thankful to Gransky that I got this opportunity to present my work. Actually, the work is about a hacker machine learning challenge that I recently participated. It's about developing a multi-output classifier. I use Cadbus classifier. I'm going to
Sorry
present it.
to interrupt you, Bhargavi, your audio is not so clear.
Okay. Is it audible now?
Yes, it's
Yeah,
clear.
yes, sir. We can continue.
Shall I show my presentation now?
Yeah, you can present.
Okay, thank you. Is my screen audible?
Yeah, it's
Visible?
visible. Yeah,
Okay.
it's visible. You can go.
Actually, my topic is about prediction of uh, breed category and pet category. Actually, it is a Hackereth machine learning challenge. It is about adopting a buddy. The name is Adopt a Buddy. When it comes to the problem statement, it's about predicting the pet category and breed category of the animals in the shelter homes. In shelter homes, we adopt pets. So, what is the adoption rate? What are the kind of pets that are being adopted? What is the breed of the pet? All those things, both the things we have to predict. So, this is the problem statement. The problem statement says that a leading pet adoption agency is planning to create a virtual tour experience for the customer, showcasing all animals that are available in their shelter. To enable this tour experience, you're required to build a machine learning model that determines type and breed of the animal based on its physical attributes and other factors. This is the problem statement given by the Hackereth challenge. When it comes to the data consists of the training test and the training data and the test data, whereas the training data consists of 18,834 rows, which contains 11 columns. These are the features that given by the Hackereth. When it comes to the pet ID, it identifies. When it comes to description, it says the unique ID of the pet and issue date. When was the pet issued to the shelter? And listing date is the when the pet is adopted. That date is noted as listing date. When it comes to the condition of the pet, what is the condition of the pet in the shelter? That thing is in this the color of the pet. And other things are what is the length of the pet, what is the height of the pet, and two anonymous columns are given by them. And also our target values are breed category. We have to predict the breed of the pet and what is the category of the pet. Next, when I saw the data, these are the observations that I got it. First of all, as I already told you that it has 11 columns. Some are of object type, some are of float data and some are of integer data. And pet ID, issue date, list date, and color type. These are of object type. When it comes to the condition, length, and height, and the breed category, these are a float type of data. And the X1, X2 anonymous columns as well as the pet category are integer type of data. I saw a pattern in the pet ID that is whatever the pet, if the pet belongs to, if the pet is a dog, then it will be some letter start, integer starting with a 6 or 7, some same integer. But the next number changes along with its breed. So I saw the pattern in it. And next, the target columns are breed category and pet category. Okay. Next, when I saw the data, there are some missing values in the data. When it comes to the training data, there are 1,477 missing values in the training data, and then 619 missing values in the test data. And also the color type column has 56 unique values. That means in the training data, there are two more values Then the test data. That is one other thing. When we do the one-hot encoding, there will be a problem while predicting the values. So next, when it comes to the missing values, they all belong to particular category, breed category, that is 2. So breed category 2 is linked with the condition missing column. So all the missing values are the particular breed category 2. Next, the difference between the issue date and the listing date gives the minimum age for the pet to be adopted. So that is also an important feature that I got from it. Next, from all those observations, I done to extra feature extraction. That is, I extracted the difference between the difference between the issue date and the listing date. That is giving the minimum age for the adoption of the pet. And next, I extracted these pet ID, extracted the first digit and second digit of the pet ID. So this is also gives some information about what is the particular pet and what is the particular type of breed. So it will give some information. When it comes to the splitting of data, first of all, I pre-processed the data. Actually, I've done one hot encoding and also dimensionality reduction things. All those things are performed, but I received very less accuracy. I got less accuracy than the cat boost algorithm that I was using. So rather than one hot encoding, I've used directly the cat features and the category, cat boost classifier. Actually, here the problem is that we are going to predict two outputs. One is breed category, another is pet category. Even though using multi-output classifier, I got some errors because both the pet category and breed category does not have same number of labels. The labels that pet category have are 0, 1, 2, whereas the breed category has 0, 1, 2, 4. So there is a difference in number of labels that I have, so it doesn't work for me. So I went for decision tree algorithms. Then I've used a random forest algorithm classifier. It gave me very less accuracy, nearly 89 to 90% in between those. And next I used XGBoost. All these needs the data to be one hot encoded. So I have to remove the extra 2 columns from the test data, train data, in order to predict those values. Next, after so many classifiers, I've come to know that these give me some better accuracy than the others. So random forest classifiers, XGBoost classifier, and cat boost gave me some good accuracy. So I opted for them. Next, I chose cat boost finally after trying all those things because it gave me best accuracy than all those things. Next, I have to use 2 classifiers because I have to predict both the breed category and also the pet category. So I have to use both the things. First, I used the classifier 1 for predicting the breed category, and then used this output as the new feature for the prediction of pet category. Then it gave me less accuracy because breed category correlation and has a very some less correlation. So next, what I've done is first I predicted pet category, and this pet category new predictions used this new feature to the breed category. Then it gave me better accuracy than the before one. So I went to use 2 classifiers. First classifier's prediction is used in the second classifier's new feature. Next, in order to hyper tune my model, I've used grid search CV. First, finding the learning rates. I've used 100, 200, 300. Like that, I gave some iterations and then picked some learning rates. By using that learning rates, I've trained the model and then found what is the best iteration with that learning rate. I'm getting more accuracy. Like that, I would train the models. And next, when it comes to the validation, I've used F1 score metrics as suggested by the Hackerith platform. And I also used K-fold cross validation in order to check whether it's an accurate prediction or not, accuracy is correct or not in the matrix. So, and finally, both the classifiers I got combined accuracy is 90.9799 accurate. Next, this is the confusion matrix of my classifiers. When I predicted the pet category and breed category, I got this the confusion matrix that's saying this there are some false negatives that shows here and also here in the pet category. Next. I feel that hyperparameter tuning, I mean, as I'm new to machine learning, I'm very new to machine learning here. This is my very, new one, baby steps. I'm just learning here. This hyperparameter tuning is a big task for me because I don't know how to pick the iterations and what are the best learning rate and those things. I've tried many times. I've used many classifiers. I was just I don't know much about this thing. No, I have learned so much. I've read the documentation of XGBoost, Lightage, Meda Boost, Cat Boost, Random Forest, all those things I've read thoroughly. Then I picked the Cat Boost algorithm, and in that they gave me some hyperparameter tuning. In that there is some random search CV, grid search CV. Both things are available. I've used grid search here. And next also the main thing is that there is an option called use best model. So even though I've run the model for suppose 500 iterations, if the model gives me best accuracy in 300 iterations, the classifier takes that 300 iterations out only. So I've used that option also, parameters also. And also there is an interesting feature that I've seen here, that calc feature statistics method. This parameter enables us to plot the features. I mean, what is the feature and what its prediction is showing. We can plot those things. But the other thing that I have seen is that it is only available for binary classification, not multi classification is supported in this. And also the features need to be one hot encoded. I've got a doubt here that even the main thing is that without change encoding the category values, we're going to use the cat boost. That is the main motive of the cat boost. Then why we have to do one hot encoding for plotting all those things? So I that one I'm interested. I want to learn more about it. And next thing what I want to say is, even though my hyperparameter tuning is has to be, I have to learn more about it and learn things. I feel that deep learning removes all these things like feature extraction and feature selection, all those things. So by using deep learning, this will be it will be easier for me to get the features uh, from the data. Finally, what I want to say is, we go to adoption shelters and we adopt pets. No, we have to adopt it with full heartfulness. For fun. We don't want to do those things. So finally, I want to say everyone who's watching, and don't buy for fun. They are not some groceries and some things. Okay, and I want to show my code so that if the judges say any wrong or anything, can you please see my screen? Suggest me. This is the model that I have done. What I was saying is, the train data contains 56 columns, whereas the test data has 54 only. If I do one hot encoding, I have to remove these two elements from the train data and do the one hot encoding because the test data don't have. And the other thing is, add these two elements to labels in the test data and set on remaining values to zeros, other feature values to zeros. This will be, I tried both, but I feel like I have to do something when there is a better thing for categorical values. So I picked up this thing, cat boost algorithm.
Anywhere you have treated the missing values, can you show us in the code?
I placed -1 for the missing values. So I will show.
Why
Yeah.
-1? What is the reason?
Because I tried 3. and I used mean, and finally I got -1. I mean some value other than the remaining positive values. I want to take -1, so it
I
gave
mean,
me some accuracy.
In Python, you find there are several ways like imputing the missing
Yes,
values,
sir.
isn't
Simple
it? There
imputer.
can be, yeah, simple imputer. So have you used any function like that to do, or
Yes, sir. I've used it, sir.
where is that?
I've used, and this gave me some improvements, sir. So that's the reason I've used it. I've used it in other ones, sir. I've done so many things. Simple imputer, and I used the mean to place the missing values. Here, sir.
Will you take the pointer there? Where?
Here,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. I can see this. Okay, that's great. Now, once you have done that, you have downloaded it from that place and used it as a new Excel sheet there. I mean, mounted that in the other, let's say, collab file, which we are showing just before this.
Sir, I've done two different means. I've done so many
Okay,
things.
at one place you have done -1, at the other
Yes,
place
sir.
you
Yes,
have done
sir. Like
imputation.
that, sir. And
So
also I
that's what I
removed
would
some.
like to understand. Why have you taken -1 specifically?
I've done many things, sir. With two different values I've taken, because first of all the main
Trial
part
and
is
error basis, is it so? Is
yes,
it
sir. Trial and error.
okay?
It took me nearly 5 days for all those things.
Now, what is the reason that you haven't removed that column having so much of missing values?
Because they contain so much of data, sir, for prediction.
No.
See,
How do you understand that? How much contribution this data is having towards your prediction of classification accuracy?
I
You
seen
have done
the
any scoring for
correlation.
that?
No, I've checked the correlation of those variables, and I've seen that condition plays an important role in prediction, sir.
Okay. So this is where you have done this now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great.
Next, I will show you. Sir, I want to know how to hypertune those parameters.
Now, first of
Between
all, my basic query is, you have seen that in this particular competition, you are being asked to evaluate using F1 score in spite
yes,
of
sir.
having so many
Yes, sir.
metrics like precision, accuracy, recall, right?
Yes,
You
sir.
see, why do you think you are being asked to do it with F1 score?
I don't know, but I thought that it will give me some better, accurate.
See, one thing is there, as you can find, and I am also visualizing this, that in
Sir.
your data, the number of pets, the categories of pets you are having, they are not equal in number, right? They are having different numbers. Like, let's say cats are there, let's say, for example, 20 cats and 30 dogs and stuffs like that. So the categories are not homogeneous in number. They are of different values, isn't it? I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
the number of, so have you done any sort of class balancing for this?
No, sir.
No, that is required. Why am I saying? Otherwise, whatever result you get, no, that will be somewhat, that will not just be misleading results. Whatever results you have received now, those are misleading results because the class balancing is not done in the first place. That is my suggestion. Second is that if even you are doing classification, where have you done your classification?
I'll
Please.
show you. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now, are you using a stratified classifier for tenfold class validation? Because that will actually help you to take care of this imbalanced data, in fact. So you can even go through stratified classification. Otherwise, you have put a lot of effort in doing this, which is really praiseworthy, and I must appreciate your work. You have done a lot of work. Great.
Thank you, sir. So, stratify. Okay, sir. I will take your point, sir. I will improve my model. So I have to first of all home. Okay, sir. This is how I took some iterations, and then I've taken the learning rate, and by using that learning rate, what is the best iteration that gives better accuracy, like that I've checked many, you know. Here it gives this. Here it gives the best iteration, where we have to where we'll get better accuracy.
Yeah, but then all these iterations are on the imbalanced data, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir. Now
probably
I
we have
got the point.
to
That's the
start
reason I'm
balancing
unable
it.
to. Okay, sir. Sir, thank you, sir. This is the presentation that I'm. It's, no. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Bhargavi, for presenting. Thank you, judges, for reviewing. If any more further reviewing, judges can take the feedback now. Can give the feedback to Bhargavi.
Yeah, I will provide the feedback on the Grade platform. So there was one quick thing for the like learning rate. You can use the decade learning rate. So there you can like in the starting you can fix the learning rate to 10 to the power minus 3 or 10 to the power minus 4. Then by the iteration it can just drop or increase based on the validation error or accuracy, whatever the term you are using.
Okay, sir.
Similarly, for multi-category, you said that for pet category you have three uh, values or three labels. Similarly, for other class you have a four label.
Yes, sir.
So I don't see any problem there. You can just use a multi-output classifier where the
Yes,
output
sir. I'll
might be
use
a
it.
seven values.
Actually, I'm very new to machine learning now, sir. I'm just searching for different types. I learned by participating in this challenge, I learned many things.
Yeah.
I've
So
even
yeah,
tried for multi-output classifier somewhere here. It will be some clumsy,
I think
but
I think the
yeah.
main thing is like before applying the things, it will be good if you can learn what is how they are how how and where we have to apply this multi output and what is the use of multi output in place of single output and how this
Okay,
function
sir.
works
Okay, sir.
and the maths
Excuse me.
behind them.
Yeah,
Okay,
excuse
Otherwise,
me.
yes, yes, ma'am.
One other suggestion I would give is that have you done any standardization of the input values?
No, madam. That's the problem that I've seen. Sir told me no.
Because I joined late, I couldn't catch whether what you have done or not.
No, ma'am. I didn't do here standardizing. While using a random forest, I've done it.
Okay, you can try with that.
Okay, ma'am.
And for class imbalancing, there is one method called SMOT. We you just go for this. What is SMOT? SMOTE. Okay, that you can try with that. You will be having some function calls that is associated with how SMOT is for. It is helpful for doing this sampling with respect to uneven distribution of samples in your classes. Okay. You learn about what SMOT is and find out how a function call can be made using Python so that your distribution of the data is uniform so that your accuracy or this F1 score can be maximized.
One advice I would like to give you, Bhargavi, since you said that you are learning machine learning, I would say that try to learn and understand the mathematics, because mathematics plays a really very crucial role in understanding what the algorithm is really doing. Simply learning packages may not help you in complex projects.
Yes,
I have experienced it. So try learning linear algebra, probability statistics, a bit of calculus. Try to learn these things as a starter of machine learning. That's what I would say.
thank you.
You will have a
yes,
better
yes.
intuition.
And one thing you said that the pet ID has some pattern. So in place of applying maybe the complex or algorithms, is there any simple pattern you find if you use if else or some kind of uh, traditional AI? By using that, you can identify the classes or something. Have you looked
No,
at
sir.
what?
No, sir, I haven't looked at. Simply, just my assumption is that I've also seen, I mean, by looking at the data, I got that one. Pet ID with
Yeah, so visualization of the data is the first and foremost important thing, and any pattern is there in certain features or before applying
I
any
look at,
complex algorithms or
I look
anything.
into it.
Just apply the simple algorithms.
Thank
And you filled with the values with a -1 in the
Yeah, yes,
missing
sir.
values,
Yes,
right?
sir.
So have you tried like going beyond -1 or something, or
No, sir. Actually, I've tried. I mean, I mostly concentrate after getting some better accuracy than before numbers. I went for. I mean, I concentrated improving my classifier accuracy. I mean, what are the number of parameters? What are the number of iterations? What is the learning rate? I mostly concentrated on those things.
so how you found that the accuracy was good or with -1? You have tested on the test data or just
Yes, sir. After every submission, I mean, I submitted my submissions in the Hackereth platform. I used to get some marks there. What's the
uh,
percentage of marks? Then with that only, I would check all those things, sir.
so in the real world we don't use the test data. So and from the training training set you can divide into training and validation and test this -1 or -2 or some whatever value you want to try, and then submit the final value or use the final value for submission. Because otherwise if they change the test data, your value -1 will not work, right? It's not generalizable.
I look into all those things and I will modify my model, sir. And also learn the basics means linear algebra, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
great.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bhargavi, for presenting, and thank you, judges, for reviewing her work. Now, I would like to